Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zakk.
Shane.
Joy.
And we are back with the Shogun finale. Do you remember what happened last time?
Who can not remember what happened last time, Zakk?
I mean, I had to take notes.
Well,
There was a lot that happened. A lot of sadness.
Anna saw, I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
Saw why?
Yeah. The way she went out and the way they kind of took us through the ringer with her seppuku. And then, of course, Ishido showed up with the proper papers. So
Yeah, so...
he's like pathetic.
I mean, just to run the gamut real quick, I mean, we had 14 years prior, Mariko met Father Martin. It comes full circle because she offers him her confession there prior to her...
Yeah, and it made me appreciate his character more.
Yeah, because even in spite of that asshole with the frilly neck thing...
Yeah.
That's whatever he is in the church. You know, he's kind of the douchebag Denethor that's sitting there eating his dinner while things are going on, waving people away. In spite of that guy, it kind of seems like Martin actually cares about the mission. Okay, Yabushige arrives in Osaka. They hate this fucking city.
Yeah.
So, one thing I want to ask you both. Do you think Yabushige will die?
I'm going to say yeah.
Okay, gut instinct is what I'm asking
Yeah,
for. We don't
I
have
think
to,
so.
We're not betting, we're just thinking.
My gut instinct now is no, but I'm going to probably kick myself later for it. I don't know if the book... Like, I don't know if historically he dies or not or anything like that.
Well, historically, at least the brief glimpse.
Don't tell me, because it'll spoil for me.
Well, I've seen different variants because I know when I saw the original.
Well, don't tell me the book or the series either.
Television. Okay, fuck.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the rules of cinema would say that because of the great sins he's committed, normally those people die. But this is kind of based off history, and this show has surprised me.
I feel like it teetered there for a little while. Yeah. Whether or not he could, make the right decisions if they were handed to him and it was, beneficial to him, advantageous for his character. But now, after the last episode, I kind of feel like he's made his deal with the devil. Me too.
I guess to me, I wonder how it affects him. Like, is he going to not care? If he doesn't care, I feel like he's definitely going to die.
I think he might care just because, oh, fuck, she wasn't supposed to die. And if he even really knew what the plan was.
Yeah.
Maybe his only part in the job was to...
Let them in.
Mm-hmm. But then again, he was going through the castle.
Yeah.
And he met up with them at some point.
Yeah. Well, he let them in and, they put a knife to his neck and
I'm not just talking about the shinobi. I'm talking about when he found Mariko.
Yeah.
He went there. Yeah. And they ran into each other.
Yeah.
Now, maybe he was just going around doing his thing. I know he went in and actually said, oh, there's intruders.
Yeah.
And he woke everybody up at some point to sell the... deception.
Yeah, he did a really bad thing, but to me it kind of hinges on if he can make penance for that. And sometimes penance still means dying. I don't know. I just don't want him to go out with a whimper. I don't want him to have a shitty death, like being boiled to death.
I know, I mentioned that earlier. I don't want him to kind of get that type of justice.
I would love some type of... I feel like his will needs to come into play somehow.
Yeah.
I imagine he's going to accept his death or something like that. Yeah. And then he ends up living and he ends up tearing up his will.
Or he'll commit seppuku and Blackthorn seconds him or something and kind of gets... I'm wondering if there'll be any justice for the guy that he boiled because he was one of Blackthorn's men, but now there's a separation between Blackthorn and his original mission and his men. He's complicit in Mariko's death by letting in the shinobi.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm wondering is if Blackthorn will find out. Or Buntaro. And
could Buntaro have a cool storyline going forward,
I feel as though that man has been so miserable for so long.
You think he'll die? That's a question.
Yeah. Between the two of them, because Mariko's dead now, so we're kind of narrow. I don't think Toranaga's going to die. Blackthorn, I don't think is going to die. Yabu, I just have a feeling, because my favorite characters always die. Yeah. So I have a feeling he's going to die. Because Muldoon died, Quint died, Boromir died, everybody fucking dies. The Hound died.
Oh, Roland Timbo didn't die.
You're right, Timbo didn't die, so there's a chance.
Yeah. I was listening to the official Shogun podcast where they have a producer get on, and they had the actress who plays Mariko. But one thing that they were talking about was the poems. We talked about this off camera for a second. Poems are very important to samurai culture. Mm-hmm. And being a good poet is part of being a good samurai.
Isn't it part of that being the mastery of arts and things too? Like the whole well-rounded mastery of life? Isn't that kind of what it boils down to?
I'm not sure.
I know they did calligraphy, right?
Yeah.
And poetry, calligraphy. I know Yabushige, we saw him drawing actually at one point. Yeah. Or painting, you might say.
In the beginning, there was kind of 3 or 4 lines. And then, because they didn't want to limit the creativity, they would do really long 100-line ones. And you could get a second. And you're supposed to, hand it back and forth and do every other one and try to stay in sync.
That's pretty cool.
And it's like co-oping this poem.
So we had the conversation.
It's like writing a song together. Kind of cool.
The lady Ochiba wanted to have a conversation with Mariko after she had her confrontation with the Council of Regions, or at least with Ishido. So she arranges for a secret meeting through the premise of Blackthorn meeting the heir. The heir wanted to talk to the Anjin.
Yeah.
And through that, she kind of has this discourse on, having Mariko translate to Blackthorn kind of how she is and why she is that way. And even in the conversation with the Regents behind the scenes, she was warning them about Mariko because she threatened to get seppuku because she tried to leave and she forced their hand. Everyone was killed.
Yep.
Long story short, she says she failed her lord and now must take her own life. And they're like, sure, she won't really do it. And they said, and she was there to say, no, she will.
Yeah.
So she's going to follow through with her word.
Yeah, I felt like that last conversation they had was, I mean, obviously it was sad, but seeing your old friend, you know what I mean, after so many years.
She even pointed out that their fathers were enemies.
Yeah. It's like Yabu, man. It's like you're wrapped up in shit that you can't control.
Yeah.
It's horse shit.
Yeah, and he's willing to do, his thing is he's not really following through with any of the fucking loyalties or anything. He's just
but like the reason I love him is like, the reason why I fell in love with him also is because of what he was willing to do when Blackthorn was on that cliff. You know what I mean? He ponders death. He studies it. He writes about it. He wants to hear other people's poems about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's willing to put himself out there and still earn his renown.
Yeah.
But he's still, at the same time...
He doesn't want to die needlessly, some crazy old man.
I'll die with some crazy old man!
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
I love him. I just love the character performance. I love just how he's just kind of a piece of shit, but he's also like an enjoyable guy.
He's just funny to see, like, the looks on his face.
Oh, his expression, very expressionistic.
Yeah.
I love his grunts too. They make me laugh.
Yeah.
I just love the confusion he has on his face. Sometimes he's like, like just very, very cool performance. I love it.
You just don't see anyone else really,
No one else is that
no one
animated.
else is doing that, yeah.
They're all very serious.
Right.
And he's the guy that's like, I fucking do this.
Yeah.
No.
Why am I even talking to you?
Yeah. He's like, pissing in the wind.
Yeah.
You would have died if I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
You wish you were in that pot.
Yeah. Like, hell no. Would have been swifter, is what he said.
Yeah. So, all right. So we get to this point of seppuku.
Yeah, that to me was beautiful and heartbreaking.
Which actually Blackthorn confronts her, but approaches her beforehand. And says, look, if you're not going to do it, or not going to not do it for any other reason, at least do it for me.
Yeah, live for me.
Live for me.
And they have that touching moment, but she couldn't accept.
Nope.
She offers her confession to Father Martin.
Yep.
And then the moment of truth arrives. She couldn't find a second because that other piece of shit Christian guy wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Didn't show up.
Yeah, so the podcast I listened to touched on that. Like the idea of seppuku for a woman. Back in the day, if you weren't a samurai, it would just kind of call it suicide.
Wow.
Yeah.
But if you were, or if you weren't, like women in general, they'd have to fall on their sword.
Wow.
I didn't know that, obviously.
I read that somewhere. I think somebody commented, actually.
Okay. Well,
on
thank
our
you.
last video.
And so that was interesting.
Because they don't actually carve out their belly.
Yeah. And sometimes when men didn't have a second, they can live for days. Just fucking...
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, fucking awful.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also after, if they didn't have a second, a woman, she would slit her wrist, like while she's on the ground, kind of bleed out.
Okay, after the fact.
Yeah.
So
Brutal.
she couldn't find a second. Blackthorn finally intervenes and offers because he didn't want her to commit taboo.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that?
Religion. At first glance, most people would think, oh man, he's going to kill her. But he's respecting her values.
Yeah, he's respecting that she wants to go out. He loves her enough because she wants to go out a certain way and have meaning to her life. And ultimately, he'd be helping her fulfill her life mission and the mission of her father.
Yeah, and she sees that and respects it too. You can see the thankfulness in her eyes, like how she arrives at the fact that he appreciates it and understands what's going on.
There was a lot going on even when there was no talking.
Yeah, just the environment
and
the expectation.
Well, the way they convey emotion with body language and just a glance, it's just incredible.
And I did a presentation on Friday morning at Fort Fry for the admin team, and we talked about communication. And communication is actually 55% body language. So we could see it. We could see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even without them talking.
Yeah.
It was the body language.
Yeah, because if you appear like you're disgruntled or mean or pissed off, but you're like having a conversation that you're not even sounding like it, but someone can look at you and say, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The seppuku is interrupted because Ishido marches in there and he has to save face. So he's like, and they can't let her die because it would unite all the families against them.
Yeah.
So he has to save face. He's like, yeah, here's your permit to leave. And
Yeah.
they're like, well, can we leave too? It's like, yes, no one's a prisoner here. Just apply for your permits and you'll get them.
Yeah.
So it's like his fucking way of like, yeah, you can go, but you're going to have to still go through us.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
well, at that moment,
is it still saying that they did it wrong when they tried to leave the first time?
Well, I know Ishido, obviously, in his eyes, she was confined there. Like, the way they structure their society, like, oh, you're technically not. Like, at that moment, I was kind of like, I almost agree with him. Like, he's like, he basically said committing seppuku over this. He
always does that shit, though.
Yeah.
That's how he is, and what's funny is that
he
climbed up from nothing.
Yeah.
And you were supposed to see that as admirable.
Yeah.
And especially when he's compared to the other regions when they are acting like pompous assholes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he always like scoffs at other people's limitations or mistakes or like their decisions because he earned it.
Yeah, maybe he feels like I overcame whatever's holding you up. Therefore,
Yeah, but at the same time, like it's been called out before several times, like you'll never be anything more than a bureaucrat. Like you are. This is what
like he
you
became
are.
the very thing that all these guys that came from something are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, you're right, but at the same time, like those are their limitations.
Yeah.
Like, you climbed up from nothing and became this. It's not like he hasn't earned it. He got there.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
he's allowing that to hold it back.
Well, it's just how he
Or he's
addresses certain things. Like, committing seppuku over this. Well,
Yeah.
Like posh piece of shit. So,
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, later that evening, Blackthorn and Mariku make love.
Yeah.
And Yabu, through his deal with the devil, lets in the shinobi. And
yeah. So just like we said earlier, I'm just wondering how it's going to affect. I mean, I know John's going to be torn up and that's going to be fucking sad, but I wonder if he's going to feel bad at all, or if he's going to be like, oh shit.
I have to wonder if he's mostly just going to be like, I don't want to get caught for this.
Yeah.
I just want to get exposed.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be his shtick, I would imagine.
I mean, it was so sudden. Like, your reaction was really good. Like what? It's over?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
I
know, we were
expecting
like-
something, because these episodes there's been several times where a major event or a character
And then
has
there's
died.
It'll be dark for
and
3
there's
seconds.
still more.
Yeah.
So and then it was just over and there were credits. Like, fuck!
Yeah, I mean, it really affected me, that death. I mean, I imagine it's going to continue to affect me as it affects the rest of the characters.
I'd like to see the fallout. I want to see it now.
Me too. Guys, before we jump in, if you want to support us, first of all, leave a comment down below. Thank you. And, we like this group. Maybe we'll try to do something else going forward. Zakk and I might jump into X-Men or something like that. Eventually, we'll maybe replace Attack on Titan also. So anyways, guys, check us out on Patreon, our full length. Come back here for our post-talk, because we don't put our post-talk over there. Let's jump in.
Language and violence. No boobies. Damn. I guess we had to see him in the last episode, right?
Yeah. Did we? Actual boobies?
I don't think we saw much of her, actually.
No.
Didn't see any.
Looks like
He blind.
kind of Caucasian, doesn't he?
He's definitely Caucasian.
Looks a little...
I wonder if it's him.
Him.
Blackthorn. Old.
That's what I was
Old
wondering.
Blackthorn.
But...
That's what I was thinking too.
Why is it chipped? Because grandfather used it to fight off a whole army of Japanese assassins.
It's Blackthorn in his old age.
And that's Mariko's cross.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
I think that's the actor. Cosmo.
Funny outfit.
Given to you by a savage.
Is he blind?
He looks very blind. Ooh, he already looks like he's dead.
He does not look in good health.
Oh!
Yabu!
Did he go blind here?
That'd be a hell of a thing, wouldn't it?
Jeez.
Just old blind.
How did she not blow in 1,000 pieces?
The door.
The door, yeah, the concussion could have killed her.
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
That was a painful anguish.
We commit to your loyal servant, Mariko-sama.
fuck.
It's his fault.
I don't think he meant for that,
Bad
obviously.
choice, though. Is he angry? Is he confused? Is he thinking about his next move?
I think he's probably going to be pretty distraught.
There's so much going on in his eyes. I can't.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was really nice. Just the anger, but then like
Oh,
going through the ritual of his religion.
Yeah.
dream of a dream. Dream of a dream. Okay, so he's out
Chilling.
chilling.
His retainer, or whatever
Yeah.
the fucking guy is hanging out back there in the bush.
Pervert.
The perverted eyes.
回避することもでき申した。大坂城が我らが思うておったほど安全でないことは
They don't know.
Yeah.
何の妨げもなく城を出ることを許されるべきであった。
今更何を言ってもせんだけこと。
I'm sure there's a form
Yeah.
and a function to
か
that.
けがえのない家臣の非業の最後に色を失い兄は秘密裏に江戸を抜け出し戦の支度をしておる戦の支度など何の意味もないわ大阪か我らがしっかり団結しておるということよ恥ずべき襲撃を命じた咎人が老衆の一人やもしれぬと思ったこの卑しむべき襲撃をやってのけるやからは不実で悪知恵の働く虎中しかおらぬ
Ew.
出陣すべきと申しておるのじゃ
その前にまずマリコ殿のキリシタンとしての葬儀を執り行わねばなりません。
マリコ殿の死は気の毒じゃがあの者が明智家の身内じゃということを忘れてはなるまいお千葉様の父君を殺めた一族ぞ
マリコ殿は手厚く弔っていただかねば。
Okay then.
正直つかまついかがいたしまするかわしのしたことではない
Yeah, our guy because he's Catholic.
No, he's not. They're Catholic.
Yeah, he's Christian. Yeah, he's Protestant.
Yeah.
Another one?
They have them all the time.
Why are they freaking out then?
See, why are they freaking
Yeah.
out? Could always result in something terrible.
戦議を重ねようということではあるまいか
Oh, he thinks it's a bad omen. Yeah.
Stop this superstition.
耳の方はようなんだか
耳でございまするか
He's stunned. Oh, you may not be able to fucking hear him.
Oh.
拙者マリコ殿は捕らえられるだけじゃと思っておりました
逆らうたりするゆえ命を落としたのじゃあれでは救いようがないわ藪重殿のご尽力は後世に語り継がれるであろう虎中が死んだ後
We can fucking hear him.
大老の座は安泰よ
Yeah. Look at him smile.
Looks delirious.
奇妙なものでござる虎長公に戦を仕掛ける寸前まで行かれた今日は全て殿下に賛同だがそこで地震が起きたのじゃ大きな地震でござった殿下の味方はそれを不吉な前兆とみなした殿下は和平の道を探る方が楽だったのでござるどうじゃ藪重殿その池にナマズはおらんぞ
So he's pretty broken up over it, I guess.
ご論存しております伊豆へ戻られるがよい兵を集めわしの指示を待て
He's fucking going crazy. Think about in Europe, they had no idea they had cities this big in Japan. You know, obviously Blackthorn had no clue.
The level of sophistication.
Yeah.
Was it really given to you by a savage? We live. And we die.
I missed the funeral.
お立ちくだされ。頃合いにござりまする木山様の手の者たちが港まで護衛いたしまする。
That was hers, wasn't it?
Well, get it over with then.
You have been permitted to return to Toranaga-sama's galley. Here is your pass.
Why am I receiving this permission from Lord Kiyama? Where is Yabushige-sama?
He is preparing the galley in Osaka Bay. I have come to bring you to him.
You, huh?
have now been released from Osaka.
Toranaga won't be surrendering.
Not yet. Ishido-sama has mobilized the Council of Regents to war. The Lady Ochiba has pledged her son's support. Toranaga will be dead in weeks.
Then you don't know Yoshi Toranaga. The hostages are free. Got just what he wanted. No dirty hands, no war. Just a woman. She can't have heard me. Before she died, I spoke before. God, not your God. Oh, my God.
Rest assured she was already sanctified. Before her death, she came to me and received absolution. I think it would have pleased her to see us being civil.
Yes. Yes, he may be right.
Perhaps there might come a time we can set aside our differences.
Yes. All this nonsense. Catholic and Protestant and Calvinist and every other shittist. It's only a shame. Is this where I'm to be? Ambushed, like the last time I tried to leave. No longer protected. Shall I finally meet my end?
I will not deny it. You were meant to die in these woods, but an arrangement was made. You will leave Osaka alive.
You'll have to forgive me if I'm having some trouble accepting anything on your word.
You will just have to trust me.
What can you do? You
Hey, what choice do you have? What choice do you have? Yeah.
Go with God, Anjin-sama.
See him bowing, like embracing the Japanese customs.
It was Lady Maria. She asked the church to spare your life before she died. And now I have. I have kept my word to her. Wow. Goodbye. And good luck.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
That sucks. God.
何のことさ？カレーかなとは
私の友人が読んだホックにございます。
埋葬されたものか？
どうお続けなされまする？
枝には実がなる、花も咲くの。
かようにしてはいかがでしょう。風なお吹きて、花は花なれ。
I feel like it's gonna be more.
Yeah.
The wind.
But thankfully the wind.
That's it.
The wind.
What about?
Oh, a rainbow.
貴殿の腕があるではないか。共に海に出ればよいではないか。貴殿の国目指して。イングランド。そこへわしを連れてってくれ。
Why does he want to leave though?
I almost no part in this shit anymore.
飛び込みを指南してくれ。虎長様に指南したように、わしにも手本を見せてくれ。Pull yourself together, man.
It's going crazy.
Oh, it sunk it.
Oh, for real?
They fucking scuttled his ship.
That sucks. I wonder if they have what kind of seafaring ships, like the quality for long voyages they have.
恐れながらYabushige殿刀をお渡しいただくように申し付かっております。この者たちは我らが主君虎長様の配下でございます。拙者に命じられたのも虎長様でございます。
急がない。
こちらへ。
I think he's just tired of being a
Yeah, getting used.
yeah. I mean, tossed back and forth like a yo-yo.
闇夜に紛れてわしらの警護をすり抜け襲撃したのでございます。敵は狙いどころをよう心得ておりました。キリシタンや
What are you talking about? I can't understand anything you're saying.
Enemies,
Okay.
Christians, did this. 何かさんも。
Mariko?
That's what it sounded like he said.
He did say that.
キリシタンに手を貸した者が見つかるまで、この村の者たちは誰も安らぐことができません。
Alright.
Do we know any of them?
Couldn't tell that.
Totally.
Well, this is going full circle.
Yep.
殿。
わしの身内や家臣を連れ帰ってくれたことを礼を申す。あの世賊を屋敷に招き入れる措置の姿が見られておったことだ。
He's dead, y'all.
Yabushige殿はマリコ様が亡くなった後、介護の念に駆られ許しを請うておられたとか。これは虎長様のお耳に入れねばと思うた次第でございます。
措置は襲撃を手引きしたのか。
He can understand enough, obviously.
いたしました。
よかろう。措置の所領はすべて召し上げ、明日の日没までに腹を切ってもらおう。
殿、どのみち殺すのであればよく筋をお与えくださる。王術に好みが切り裂かれるような。
良き案じゃが、わしは措置を信じておらん。明日の日没までに腹を召されよ。
伊豆は家臣一門の地位を拙者はここに近江跡取りと宣言いたしますゆえ、近江に跡目を継がせることをお許しくだされ。
伊豆はもはや措置が跡目を決める領地ではない。解釈は誰がよい。
安心殿が。
なら。
No.
殿にお願いできますれば、今日は土獄に存じまする。
承知した。しからば明日。
Told you guys. I told you.
Oh, you weren't like double down on it.
I did. I said he's gonna die.
He was still trying to look out for Omi.
Yeah.
Kind of noble of him.
I think at this point he's run its course for him.
Yeah.
Hey, Fuji.
Oh.
I was kind of concerned we wouldn't get to see her.
I know.
富士様。そなたすっかり息災。
かたじけのうございまする安心様。
Look at everything, empty spot.
Fuji.
長門様でございました。私たちはまだ悲しみに暮れております。
大勢おるわ。
I wonder how many he has.
これは私どもが大坂城を出立する朝、落ち葉の方から内密にお預かり申した文でございます。
読んだのか？
ひどい勘繰りでございますと。
Of course you did.
Okay, so what's she saying?
And what would she tell?
So long.
Yeah.
Good night.
What it could have been.
I hope we find out.
I'm not saying.
花乱れ、ことのはちりて、焚き火かな。
あまりに美しゅうて、殿がお読みになられたとは思いませぬ。
マリコ殿の歌じゃ。後に残るは言葉のみか。じゃが、なんと見事な焚き火を残されたことか。
What is that?
私の夫忠義様と一人息子の鶴丸の位牌が入っておりまする。葬らねばならぬのですが、手元に置いておきとうございまして、どうすればよいかわからないのです。
I hope he's able to follow all this.
Me too.
私はおいとまをいただきます。虎長様から尼になるお許しが出ましたので、私の申しておりますこと、お分かりになりますか？
富士様。尼。
イエス。尼。
私、そなた、見てほしい。
できませぬ。
私、命じる。富士様は正室。
お言葉ではございますが、私はもうあなた様の正室ではございませぬ。虎長様にお仕えするお役目は果たしました。
Everything's leaving him.
Yeah.
富士様。いい。尼。
精進いたしまする。この村のことに胸を痛めておりまする。
恥じろ。
船のことで村人が厳しく罰せられているゆえ。
私も富士様、虎長様に文を。私、明日殿に会いたい。
It's like he picks it up faster than I feel like I could even comprehend picking it up that fast.
It's kind of like broken English when you hear people say it.
Yeah.
Speak it. Oh, fish. I feel like Yabushige's end so far has been a little too abrupt. I feel like there's going to be more. Unless it's just him dying.
Right.
Yeah.
I love the pistols and the swords there together.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's like fucking Red Steel 2. Cool. The greatest Wii games ever. It didn't sell anything.
Okay, what's this, Omi?
I'm sorry I peed on you.
刀と鉄砲渡せ。
Like he was shocked how fast he gave it to him.
虎長様の御前に参るぞ。
Well, maybe that and he understands him.
Yeah.
Farewell.
I'm glad she's getting what she wants, and there's no hard feelings with Cosmo. Cosmo.
我らにとっても面白ないことじゃ。配下の者たちには下手人を見つけるまで休むなと命じてある。
殿、この通詞役ただの老子には手に負えません。
Maybe John's gonna.
アンジはまだ知らんのか。話してやれ。
Oh, that he's actually not a simple fisherman.
I was born Tonomoto Akino in the Azuchi prefecture. I am samurai. In order to spy on
He's so shocked.
years ago, my lord ordered me to convert to the religion of the Portuguese. So I took the name Muraji and moved here.
Well, at least you're not Catholic.
My lord says he will not rest until he finds those who help destroy your ship.
I've prepared something to say in Japanese. Perhaps you will help me if I falter.
In Japanese.
Ajiro no hito, otte oite hoshi, nozomi nakushita hito, iru. アジロの意図忠実。
己の敵に復讐したいのではないのか。
He asks why you do not wish to fight your enemies.
My enemies didn't burn my ship. It was Mariko-sama. She hated my war against the Catholics.
マリコ殿は安心殿が日の本のキリシタンと戦うことを嫌がっておられたと。
So she made an arrangement to trade my survival for the destruction of my ship.
安心殿の命を助けるために、安心
That's fair.
の役を頼んだ。
いかがいたすつもりじゃ。
I don't need it anymore.
こやつの頼みは聞けん。
He says the sentence stays until the disloyal have been found.
何をしておる。
I was the disloyal one. 私死ぬ。村人死なない。
何様のつもりじゃ。こやつは己が死ねばわしが謀反人探しをやめるとでも思っておるのか。
私死ぬ。村人死なない。
ならぬ。
Don't you understand? I came here to use you. To use you!
Raise your voice to me.
The day I set foot on your shores, I fed you shit. I fed you shit.
Point at his ass.
Dickie. Dickie! Fuck it. I live in my time. 私安人はこの命をもって吉井虎根がによるこの村への慈悲な処罰に抗議いたす。おいおい。
It's great that he cares.
Yeah, he
I
cares.
just-
It kind of makes me want to cry, honestly.
気が済んだのであれば、あの船を立て直し、わしのために水軍を作るがよい。
Kind of respects him now a little bit. It's like when Steve Kerr punched Jordan back. Jordan respect him after that. Ah, damn. Alright, guys, sorry. Fucking Mariko.
Clean it up.
拙者は跡取りと定めていただいたことをかたじけなく思うとおります。
Does he have any kids?
Must not, man.
かしぎの名は決して絶やさぬとお誓い申し上げます。
そう思わなんだら申し出ておらぬわ。わしは息子に恵まれなんだが、
That's cool.
わしのことを息子のように思っておった。わしの自制力を。
Yeah.
亡骸は楽な埋めるなのみさらせ、飢えたる犬の腹を満たせよ。
見事楽であろう。
氏上には多くのことを教わりました。
その教えもこれにてしまいじゃ。ああ。
Will.
わしの意思じゃ。
見事なご最後。
I have to really trust those ropes to be secure.
I have to hold all that shit in there. Good, a paper
Looks like a
stuff
camping
in
chair, doesn't it?
It does.
It's a good scene for his death. Though.
Yeah.
Now the learning ends. That's a great line.
我が甥は殿の良き配下になりましょう。殿は果報者でございまするな。
そちのおかげじゃの。
安心もでございまする。あやつも拙者のおかげでございまするぞ。
He's got to get his dick. I mean, if he believes it, he'll say it.
Yeah.
Right?
できれば拙者も生き延びて見とうございましたぞ。殿の計り事がどのようなものであれ、うまくいく様を。安心が船を燃やしてキリシタンどもを海で打ち負かすところも。
そうやすやすとはゆくまい。壊さねばならなかったのじゃ。あの世、見張りの者どもに火薬を撒くよう命ずるのはそう難しいことではなかった。
He did it.
マリコ殿が教会に話をつけ、わしは同意した。
殿が船を燃やしたのでございまするな。
やむを得ずの小細工よ。安心を試すためのな。
Fucking, that's some Star Wars shit there.
いつか種明かしをするやもしれん。その頃にはあやつは船を立て直しておるであろうが、わしはそれをまた壊さねばならぬであろう。あやつは一生日の本から出られぬ宿命であろうな。
一体どのような心地がするものでございましょう。殿は全ての風を己の欲しいままに操っておられる。
わしは風を操ったりはせぬ。読むだけじゃ。
どのようにして勝つおつもりですか。今や殿の軍は多勢に無勢。ここで好転でございまするか。せめて拙者が死ぬ前に教えてくだされ。
藪重殿、目の前でなされている策に気づくと思っておったぞ。好転はすでに終わっておる。大老衆が結束しておる限り、大坂に軍を送るなどもってのほか、それはすなわち死を意味する。そこでわしは女子を一人送り込み、そなたには見えぬか、これから何が起こるか。これよりおよそ一月のうち、5つの軍勢が戦場にて直に相対
Battle of Five Armies. Right out of the Hobbit.
Right.
お世継ぎの軍が石堂側につけば、わしの軍勢に勝ち目を。
I like that letter Ochiba wrote, pledged that they come to his side.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
マリコ殿のお子がえのおかげで、落ち葉の方は石堂との盟約に嫌気がさし、秘密裏にわしに文をよこし、お世継ぎの軍を戦場に出さぬと誓われた。その日石堂には掲げる御旗がない大老衆は、刀すら向く前に石堂に背を向ける。そしてようやくわしの夢見た時代が来る。わしの新たな県政の要である江戸から始める築き上げるは、戦のない太平の世じゃ。これは我ら皆で成し遂げたのじゃ。そなたもわしもマリコ殿も、海の向こうから来たあの安心さえも、あやつを殺してしまおうと思うたことは何度もあったが、思いとどまった。あやつに値打ちがあるからではない。あやつはわしを笑わせようとし
そらことにございまするな。我らの一生も下々の者たちの死も生贄も皆、我ら一門の代に勝利を記すだけのもの。
安心と初めて会った時、あやつが何と申したか覚えておるか。わしが戦うても望みはない。
Not if I win.
俺が勝てば望みはある。
すべて思いのままになる。
将軍の小さいも、それが殿のかねてよりの望みであったのでございまするな。胸の奥に秘めたお心は、殿も他の者とさほど変わりませぬな。本当のことを語ってくだされ。墓場まで持ってまいりまするゆえ。
死人に先々の話をして何とする。
You got right to it.
I like the little smirk they gave each other.
He had a good death.
He did. Honestly, like at first I was underwhelmed, like, but that conversation and fucking the letters and just the conversation with his nephew.
Yeah, he went out well.
Sama, you served me all this time. Please just allow me this one final gesture. Iku, umie, saigo no tanami. I've always been of the mind that a soul committed to the deep is a soul who, in some way, lives on forever within it. Wakarimashita ka? Zutto. Isso.
I don't know if I'd have the balls to do that, just to pick up someone's boxes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what if she freaked the fuck out?
I mean, it's kind of a way to help get her to let go, too.
Yeah.
Oh, they're jars and boxes.
Okay. Better than just being a head in the box.
That happened several times.
Poor baby.
Yeah.
Gosh.
最後に触れるのはハンジ様の手にいたしましょう。
That's a hell of a line.
Yes, it is.
Wait a minute. So how's he?
No, he's imagining himself as an old man.
Oh.
Oh.
And he never doesn't become that old man there. The Japanese in the show mislead you. The show misleads you about the Japanese. Unless it comes back to him somehow.
Oh, that'd be nice. God, that'd be...
There'd be no way that it would do that.
I don't know. What if it's like caught on that boat?
Yeah,
You pull it out of there
shit
and-
happens all the time like that.
Buntaro.
Oh.
He looks ghastly.
Yeah, he looks...
really look bad.
Yeah.
He's come to help.
Yes, this is wonderful. Raise your arms!
Why am I crying at this part?
Festering shit rags! I have a feeling this is the one. Here we go.
No, get up. Murati. Just keep that between you and I.
It's all learn to respect him, man.
Like after everything.
How much is there to rebuild in a way where you trust this
Maybe
structural?
like the keel, like how much of the keel is...
The keel is like the backbone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
That's it! I told you she was beautiful. I told you she knew what the business.
There's water. A little water bottle out of bamboo.
Yeah, I think it's water.
They just took it from him first. He's offering it to him.
That's so interesting.
It's cool. I like the little lip.
Yeah. And I imagine everyone was like a handyman back then, but how much would he know about building ships, I wonder? You know?
I mean, yeah, I imagine he's probably around the naval yards and shit like that, or the shipyards. Understands the structure because that's your life.
Yeah.
And your survival out there, so...
Was he carrying her necklace in his left hand? He was holding a necklace in his left
Rewind
hand.
it!
And I think that's why he was maybe smiling.
Yeah, he had her necklace. I don't know how I saw that.
I saw, but I guess I
So
didn't.
they're doing, he swam out. Is it the...
I don't know what it was.
I mean, maybe.
But how would he have gotten it?
I don't know. I wonder if there's any kind of after credit scene or something.
Well,
What do you think?
I liked how they handled, like they didn't give you this big, huge, epic final battle. I liked that it was kind of the schemes and how it all pulled together.
Yeah, you know
Yep.
he's gonna win.
Yep.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's all part of his plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think they chose to tackle the characters.
Yeah, which is good because
which
I was
is-
kind of wondering how they're going to squeeze all that in with a big battle if they had it.
Yeah. And also, I mean, obviously, it also talked about how essential America was to his plan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sent a woman in where 5 armies could not, what 5 armies couldn't do, essentially.
Yeah, it's like her battle, her fight, and he had those conversations with her.
Yeah.
About fulfilling the fight, taking up the sword,
Mm-hmm. I loved it, and I mean,
I also like that he wouldn't tell kind of his secret heart ultimately to Yabushige.
because it's your secret heart.
Wait, why tell the future to a dead man? But he talked to him about becoming Shogun. Like, you wanted this the whole time. It's hypocrisy. You're just like the rest of us.
Yeah. Well, I said, what do you think about how Yabu's saying that? I kind of agree with him. I mean,
I agree.
He's using people, lesser men who weren't, that aren't.
So that we can make names for ourselves.
Yeah. And ultimately Tornaga make his name for himself too. Like now I think historically he's kind of the central figure probably remembered more than the other ones,
Yeah, and then they'll look at his entourage after the fact.
And they're just kind of pawns, I mean, I don't think we know that he doesn't prefer violence. At least that's what he said at one point, like the pointless death.
Well, it's kind of the idea is that the fewer people that died eventually kind of sowed the seeds for a victory that did not have to deal with a bunch of, a big war.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, historically speaking, if that battle was fought or if the other families just went over to Toranaga, which would have been, I don't remember that guy's name, but off the top of my head, or if they just went to him.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, fuck, and just threw in the towel.
Or if Shido had if he would have had to commit seppuku then.
Yeah, I know, just that one guy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I was satisfied with Yabushige's death.
Me too.
I was concerned.
He was one of the ones I wanted the showrunners to get his death right, and I feel like they did. I mean, you're out there with someone I think you're relatively close to, like that you bled next to.
They after all we've been through.
Yeah, out on the cliffside. Yeah. I kind of loved it,
Yeah, I did too. A lot of characters sometimes don't get satisfying deaths, but his was satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the showrunners knew how much people would kind of latch onto that character. How could you know, like, at
that's
first?
probably why they selected that guy.
Yeah.
Because we found out after the fact that he's actual kind of a prominent actor in
Yeah.
Japan. So that's probably why he was selected for the role. He executed it well.
Yeah.
I was satisfied with it. I liked it. I like how he handled off my death poem.
Yeah.
And the will
Yeah.
and everything, and kind of left it all behind. He left things...
What do you think of his poem? His poem was almost like a will.
It was like a straightforward. I guess leave my body for the dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
he was contemplating like epic deaths. Like, I just can't get in my head wanting to die. I mean, like viciously, for the sake of its epicness. You know what I mean?
That man could. That was what he's all about.
Yeah, I respect it. I can't. I wouldn't.
I also like how he just fucking got to it.
Yeah.
There was nothing dramatic about like how he pulled out the fucking thing. He didn't even open his shirt or anything. He just fucking pulled it out and stabbed himself.
There's something like the way he smiled at him too, like, and the way Tornaga smiled back.
I know.
I loved it. Yeah, hell of a show. One of the best shows I ever watched.
I like that was kind of like Toranaga had these back and forths, like everything with Ishido, and then of course the Yabushige.
Yeah.
Like the kind of the cat and mouse thing they had going on there.
Yeah.
But they had that back and forth through the whole show because Yabushige was trying to squirrel around and
Yeah.
survive, and then eventually.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, obviously Tornaga didn't want that to happen. You know what I mean? But it happened. You know, you can't account for everything. He doesn't control the wind. He just studies it. And
yeah, that was a cool line.
Yeah.
And then this is where the learning ends.
That was a great line. And yeah, so I'm confused on the flash forward and the legitimacy of it. Like, was he just imagining it, like you said?
Yeah, I have to wonder because he was kind of looking around confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the whole time he was kind of imagining what his life would be like
if he left.
Yeah.
If he kept her necklace.
And
He
then,
had her necklace.
Well, then Toranaga said later, when he's talking to Yabushige, he said, I don't think he'll ever leave. Just not his destiny to ever leave. And if he builds a ship, I'll have to burn it again.
Yeah.
So
Right, so he was probably just imagining
that's what I'm thinking.
having left,
I mean,
having grandsons.
Think of all like,
life.
but
Yes.
Europeans, they come and go to that place now. Like he could, settle down there with a woman, pretty
Well,
easily.
now, but I don't know if that's after this case and this shogunate is set up. I'm not sure if like access is closed because you remember Japan by the time World War
they closed off all
rolled
foreigners.
around. They had to really catch up.
Yeah. To me, the conversation between Toranaga and Blackthorn, and just, I think to me, I love the relationship with him and Mariko, Blackthorn and Mariko. And, obviously he's feeling pretty angsty. It's also one reason why he was going to commit seppuku.
Yeah.
It was like Yabushige was losing his shit.
Yeah,
seeing catfish in the pond.
Yeah, I think it goes to show that that he regretted killing her. And that, I keep wanting to say Cosmo because I love that name because of Kramer.
Blackthorn.
But Blackthorn, yeah, like the depths to how he felt about her. Yeah, it was all revealed in that conversation. You know what I mean?
And when he confessed to it to Toranaga when he's brought before him,
Yeah.
like Blackthorn just like
Yeah.
kind of looked away like, oh man,
Yeah.
almost like shame. He was like shameful.
Yeah.
He wasn't outraged and pissed off at him. It didn't appear
Yeah.
as much as he was just like.
Yeah.
So.
I love that he spoke to him in Japanese.
Japanese. Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Fuji's ending.
Oh.
She got a great ending for the character. I mean, she got to do what she wanted, and and what John did for her, committing the souls to the sea. I don't know if I would have surprised her with that myself, but it worked.
Well, they have a lot of respect for death and kind of those things, and he was probably hoping because she's going into a
monastery or like
a monastery is for the priests though, right?
Oh, she's going to
the nuns it's a convent.
Yeah.
So if she's going to a convent or the Japanese version of a convent.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like letting go.
Yeah, she's letting go of all those things.
And then it's like, fresh start.
And maybe living your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not dwelling on them.
Right.
Which you carry them with you, but there's a difference between that and brooding on it.
Oh, you know what? I kind of answered my question by reading. I think I did by reading the title, "A Dream of a Dream."
Yeah.
So I think
probably is his dream.
Oh.
Probably is his dream.
Well, it said he slept for a while. Remember, he'd been asleep for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, but he was kind of. I don't know. I thought we were seeing that shit before, but.
Well, I wonder if
it was like fucking Aaron Yeager, and it was all taking place during the time he's asleep. But we were.
He looked really confused as an old man, and I just wrote that off as he's an old man.
Yeah.
He's fucked up in the head, but then he looked really confused when it showed him after those dream sequences. Like he was like trying to come out.
Oh yeah.
So I wonder if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because I think that if that was her cross in Toranaga's hand at the end, it would have at least made sure you knew it.
Yeah, you're right.
I just wonder what he was carrying there. That's kind of funny.
I don't know, he had string things everywhere out there.
Yeah, all kinds of shit on there. You know what I mean? Honestly, to me, that's a devastating moment when he's holding Mariko, committing her soul to God, and he screams in anguish. It just was heart-wrenching.
Her deal to offer up the boat for his life. Then you find out that Toranaga is the one
that initiated it. Yeah,
which he didn't make it clear that she negotiated with the church.
Yeah,
and that he would do it. So they did. He was in on the deal.
Yeah,
they just had to keep up with face value of killing people in the village.
Yeah, kind of.
That man had set pieces. He had his best friend die.
Yeah,
he let him die.
Yeah,
for the
his
cause.
Son
sent Mariko to her death.
Yeah,
his son just got mixed up in it, I think.
Yeah,
but
at least I have more sons. He said.
Yeah. So he's kind of in the middle, where he's kind of like a man that's steering destiny or steering his fate in a way. He's studying the wind.
Yeah.
Let's say, but at the same time, he's.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like he's heartless, but he also is submitted to fate.
Yeah, he's submitted to fate, and
in a way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with what he said.
Probably not the correct term for it, but because obviously submitted to fate would be like, okay, I'm just going to commit seppuku and let these people take over.
Yeah.
He's.
I mean, yeah, he told his son that his shire, or not a shire, but
it reminds me a lot of. I've been reading Dune lately, and in there it talks about prescience, like the ability to see the future.
Yeah.
Well, it's revealed at some point that prescience isn't just the ability to see the future; it's the ability to see what the threads, like that you're weaving right now.
But they can get it wrong, like the precogs, Minority Report.
Yeah, well, it's like the actions you're taking right now. If you continue in that course, it tells you. It gives you the ability to see the ends of those actions.
Oh,
so you can choose different actions, and it gives you the ability to see the ends of those actions.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that, where he's studying the wind, and he knows kind of the direction he has to take.
Yeah.
And the sacrifices that ultimately will be made.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's his friend had to die. His son died. His son probably died accidentally in the midst of it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But and Yabushige, being who he was, I think he was able to use that.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
studying the wind, studying the things, and trying to help them work in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's not perfect at it, but I mean he's back on top now. Mm-hmm. Did you have a favorite part, babe?
The episode was, I think it ended well. I like how Yabushige and Lord Toranaga were up on the hill, and they were able to show the battle. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And he explained it to him because he's like, I'm going to die anyway. You just tell me what's going to happen. I like that because again, I don't know how they could have ended everyone's ending so well if they would have had a battle at the end.
Yeah, I mean, even Game of Thrones event, like it kind of understood sometimes, like we don't need to show the whole battle.
Yeah,
we just need to see kind of the before and after, and and if the
key moments,
if the characters are authentic, then we'll feel that they just had a battle.
And I really, really, really loved that Blackhorn spoke in Japanese to Toranaga when they were speaking. I just found it like he was there. He was immersed in their culture for so long that he was able to actually have the conversation with Toranaga, about what he was wanting. And I don't know. And then the one part where he's about to kill himself, he just saved him. And
I will say in that scene, I was quite taken, if I got the name right, with Miraji. The guy that was his spy in the village, and how he kind of finally reveals himself.
Yeah.
Does he still not know? Just tell him. And then he's like, how fluent, more or less he was with the language.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was, but he's fluent. His fluency, how he became erect.
Yep.
Yeah.
And his posture. Yep. Everything about him got.
He was a spy, really cool. And he was a samurai. And
he sent him there to spy on his enemies. It was a great moment to see all of those threads that he's woven over time pulled together. And it was just really cool.
That was a cool.
Yeah, that did shock me.
Cool scene.
Someone let the comment a while ago, like, "Oh, he's the spy." We were trying to figure out who it was still.
Apparently.
Yeah, like you said, like how his posture got erect, and he was like this confident, capable, person that was sent there and changed his name, did all this shit.
Yeah,
I loved it.
What was your favorite moment?
I don't know. I really liked when Buntaro and he came over, but honestly, it was
good.
When it might have been when Alvito and John were talking, and he told her that, hey, Mariko made this exchange so you can live, and then he's sailing towards the camera, and then he's fucking all choked up. That was like one of the most
touching moment.
Yeah, that was like one of the most meaningful parts to me. But if I said favorite it might have been just Yabushige's whole conversation with Toranaga. You know, like
I think starting from his conversation with Omi, leading like when they were approaching Toranaga.
Yeah.
To his death.
Yep.
Like that was probably my favorite scene. Like I thought he ended really well. It's what I was really looking for in this episode.
Yeah.
And I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with the series.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a whole, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of series I love a lot, and they don't end well. This I loved and ended well.
Yeah, I feel like the show doesn't have as much of the flash and bang that there's moments that we like. I'd say The Strain.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a lot of those moments where we're gonna repeat a lot of lines.
Yeah, because half of them are in Japanese.
Well, I know, but we can still repeat mannerisms.
Yeah.
And shit like that. But I feel like this is just like it's just a solid show. I think it's something that's gonna stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about Fallout. Like, I love Fallout. It's kind of my type of show. But this is going to win all the awards, and it should.
Yeah.
And I'm going to love this show forever. I'll recommend it to anyone.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a solid entry into our entertainment.
Like,
And
you
it's something
were talking about things owning, but the last thing I ever bought was True Detective. And I can imagine myself buying this series.
So can I.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something
I don't think I will.
I feel like it's something I want to learn about, too. Like, I can watch this series and then look into the historical characters they're based on.
Me too.
And really, just kind of let that carry my passion a little bit.
Yeah, and maybe even read the book,
Yeah, but it wasn't so fucking expensive.
It's also one of those things like, what if they make changes? Well, I mean, what if the original book has things I don't like as much as the show?
I know, but you always have the show. That's the thing.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm trying to tell you with Jaws.
I know, and I told you. I finally admitted to that.
Or maybe The Shining. Maybe it was The Shining.
It was The Shining.
Okay.
Well, we were talking about if they remade it. We had that conversation about Jaws because Steven Spielberg fought forever to keep it from being rebooted.
Yeah.
But at the same time, or like the Lord of the Rings movie, people get pissed off. Like, they can't remake those. It's like, well, they can do it. Who cares? If they get it right, great. If they don't, you still have the other ones. So who cares?
No, I get it.
It doesn't matter.
Can I share something funny?
Yeah.
I told you about it today. So the other day when I had posted after Shane's channel got back, I posted our latest reaction to this.
Yeah.
And I put it on Facebook. And my friend, Michelle, started playing it, the video. Her husband's sitting right next to her, and his name is Brandon. He's like, turn that off! I haven't gotten there yet! Turn it off! And he was like...
spoiled.
Yeah! And then she sent me the message, and he was like, Joy, I couldn't believe she was playing that. Like, she was the spoiler. I was just like, turn it off, Michelle. And they were just laughing so hard about it. So shout out to Brandon, who is watching the show with us. I think you're going to definitely love the ending.
Yeah. It's weird. It didn't give me a lot. I mean, obviously, I can't really theorize anything, but I loved it. I mean...
The only complaint I had about this episode was when they made the battle. It shows the armies meeting on the battlefield.
It looked a little...
The graphics didn't look...
Yeah,
it looks a little sketchy.
It's weird. Like, you go back and watch Lord of the Rings from 20-something years ago, they still look fucking good.
Yeah. So with this, I feel as though... And I understand there's probably a lot more of a limitation there. I'm sure Lord of the Rings had a lot of money behind it. But... And they went for a lot of practical effects that they augmented with special effects.
Yeah.
So I just feel as though that probably wasn't the case here.
Yeah.
They probably had those guys up front meeting.
Yeah.
The rest of the people were...
That's what I thought. And it was almost like... the only reason I kind of overlooked it was because he was describing like a dream.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I understand that. And my thing is just that I just might complain about it.
Yeah, no, me too. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that looks like shit.
I just wish that it would have shown less.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead of showing me more and it looking bad, show me less and make it look good.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious creatively what they were thinking with fake vision.
I don't know because it was confusing up to a point, but then when he throws the cross away, that told me, okay, it was probably just him imagining it.
Yeah, why would he imagine himself as an old man with Mariko's...
Because maybe he imagined a life where he had her. Like he sailed back to England.
Yeah, but Mariko was already dead at that point when he was having this vision.
Maybe he was just wanting that life.
No, you keep right. Yeah,
he's still really longing for it, even though she's gone.
Right.
Yeah,
and he's not like, oh, but she's gone, and I can't do anything about it. So.
Yeah,
it gets a 10 out of 10 in my book.
Yeah, I mean it's
I love the show.
I think it deserves a 10 out of 10. In spite of anything I've ever said to criticize it, this show deserves a 10 out of 10.
It wasn't like the other show we watched that we were just not satisfied.
True Detective?
Yeah.
That ending flubbed.
It was terrible.
No, I was satisfied with it. The show deserves a 10 out of 10. It deserves the awards.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was satisfied with every character's ending.
Yeah, and I know it's not like a video game studio because studios sometimes they are built up to make something like this and then they're disbanded.
Mm.
Sometimes like a studio will give you like this incredible game and then they'll make like a spiritual successor or like you'll see like their next game like, oh, I can see the DNA from their last game and this one. Like, I wish that this team would make another historical epic. But I don't think that's how it works. You know what I mean? I think it's... Yeah, I mean, we just got this great thing, and, you know...
Kevin's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe that will encourage other good projects, though. Because FX usually produces some good shit.
They do.
They gave us The Strain, they gave us Justified, they gave us this.
I still need to see that, but yeah. I mean, I love The Strain. I love this. Yeah. I don't got anything else, guys, but if you like us, you want to support us, check us out on Patreon. It's the best way to do it, and we'll get this team doing something else. There's a couple Apple shows we looked at. I really think the Godzilla one with Kurt Russell and his son. I was looking at that, and there's a couple like really serious, highly rewarded shows. We'll check that out. Maybe let us know in the comments. Don't know when that'll be, but it's coming. Anyways, guys, much love. We're out of here.